White flag, 1 lap to go.
Mike Wallace has anything, he has to show it right now, and I do believe Kurt Busch has a better truck. But here he comes on the inside.
Whoa, it made contact. He almost spins. Wallace has to get out of the gas.
And here comes Tolsma. Tolsma's got to run. Down to the inside. Wallace blocks. They hit each other, and that gives Busch clear track.
Here comes Biffle on the outside. He's making the move. Cannot do it.
Like Dave Burns said, he's getting him a little loose.
This time by 3 laps to wall. Now there's contact. Out of the way. Wallace spinning around, lights the tires up, keeps it off the wall.
And the caution flag is out. Oh, man.
Pit lane is not open yet, and I got to tell you, he's not happy with Kurt Busch. He's coming right up behind him.
First trying to use a pace car as a safety shield.
Now remember, these guys had some history before. They've had contact several times throughout the course of the year. So far, Mike's not looked over that way. It looks like he may be trying to get ready to go into pit lane. And yes, now he does break off. And let's go back and take another look, BP.
Trucks come off turn 4. Mike gets a little bit out of shape right there. And all of a sudden, right there is the contact. And Mike goes up, and he goes around. Now he nails the gas, trying to keep this thing from backing in the fence. But it does make a complete loop, goes up, and the front is going to make contact right there.
But I'll tell you what, if he doesn't get on the throttle there, he hits that wall very hard.
Very hard. He did a great job.
And Mike, we knew that the 50 truck earlier had loosened you up. We knew the 99 was starting to do that, but you didn't expect contact, did you?
I wasn't. How do you get loose in the middle of the straightaway? I wasn't loose up off the corner. I drove the thing straight past the start-finish line and got turned around. I mean, I don't think that has nothing to do with chassis. That's just a very unethical way to win a race, and it's a shame. I mean, if they're, you know, they're having to win races and points race. I mean, we basically dominated this race all day. You know, the 15 to 99 led a few laps, but predominantly we led the whole thing, and we got taken out. It has nothing to do with chassis. It just has something to do with the driver that just drove in the back of somebody. That's the way he wants to win. That's no problem.
Well, Earnhardt's trying to make it 3 wide. Boom. Right here, you'll see his hand up. Replay cut it off there. Wait a minute, you might see it this time. Watch this. Bam. That's just a little light tap. There's that hand waving. There it is. There it is.
Kurt, you're number 1.
See if we can see what develops here, BP. 97 car slides up in front of the 26. Jimmy gives him a little boot. Of course, the 97's going around. Everybody jams up.
Mark Martin sliding through sideways.
Ryan Newman had nowhere to go. Martin did a great job saving that car.
He turned that baby, just turned it dead left. That's his old dirt track experience coming in handy there, huh? Another shot. We see the shot that Jimmy Spencer is going to give Kurt Busch. Just drives on the back of the car.
And it looked from there like the 97 was loose, and he slid up in front of Jimmy, and he was still loose. He couldn't get after the gas, and Jimmy was already in the gas.
Michael Waltrip barely gets by in there.
15, he got into somebody.
Clear.
Come back under him sometime, but just let him go right now.
Whoa, he hit him. Busch got under him and muscled Jimmy Spencer. You don't see that often.
Spence is hanging on for dear life.
Get it up. You're right. Outside.
Big save, Spencer.
Message received.
Outside, still out there.
He's still wiggling the car back and forth, Darrell. He got down on the apron, picked up all that trash on those hot tires. He's just hoping he didn't cut a tire down in that contact.
Now, Sterling Marlin probably could have passed Spencer right there, but they are teammates, and Marlin's a lap down. Here it is again.
Like I said, get back up under him, and there he goes.
Many guys will save a car like that.
A bumper for a bumper.
And not many guys would go up against Jimmy Spencer like that. Usually think you let Spence go.
Well, the nice thing, Darrell, is when you're in that car, everybody weighs 3,600 pounds.
Don't say anything. Get it all around here.
1 lap to go, man. Looking awesome. 1 to go.
Dale Earnhardt, Ernie Irvin, Elliott Sadler, Rusty Wallace, and now Kurt Busch is a first-time Winston Cup winner at Bristol.
This is unreal. This is absolutely unbelievable. I just have to thank the whole Jack Roush organization for making that swap, giving me Jimmy Fennig, Sean Parker, this whole group of guys. This was awesome. We had pit strategy. I don't know why the 8 pitted, and Jimmy Spencer forgot about what he did to me at Phoenix last year. This was an awesome run for Rubbermaid. Sharpie on the car, $1 million offer. You can't get any better than this. This is Bristol. Hopefully come back in the fall race and do a double at the Sharpie 500.
Oh, he just smashed into the back bumper of my target car, but it had a big bullseye back there, and I guess he couldn't see too good, and he ends up winning the race that way. But I'll tell you, Team Target just ran really well today, and you know, I just think that it's pretty neat to come out of here with a top 5 finish. I felt like we should have had that last week also. The team is really, really strong, you know, and we'll get wins. There's no question in my mind we will, and the guys have done just an absolutely excellent job making calls on these cars, adjusting them, and we're getting better every week.
Second time you finish here in second position at Bristol, Tennessee. Jimmy, everybody thinks you're going to win. What do you think?
Oh, I know it. I think I'm going to win this year, and I'm going to win more than once, Dick. You know, I really truly believe that. But you can't race. There's a lot of things you can and can't do, and one thing you can't do is just beat and bang with people and knock them up out of the way, especially racing for the lead. And you know, I notice a lot of guys don't do that, and they're the Winston Cup champions, like myself and Gordon did earlier in the race. And I really admire him, the way he raced me, and I raced him. And some guys have to learn. They just have to learn the hard way.
Gordon right behind him.
Just opens that door. I mean, you know, he's a little wide going into one, and that gives Robbie room to get down under him. And, you know, it's kind of a give and take thing.
Hang on to it. Hang on to it.
Daryl, things are so close down there. If Robbie Gordon checks up, Kenny Schrader will get into him, and so on and so on and so on.
But the one thing I did not hear out of that spotter's radio is clear. I did not hear the word clear.
Herc did a good job of keeping the thing out of the fence. He spins it around, but here come the leaders.
And the reason he didn't hear clear, he was not clear.
5 laps to go.
He's getting a little impatient with Tony Stewart, and I think he wants to get Tony out of the way, and he did.
Look at
Busch turned him around.
Caution is out.
He hadn't hit anything yet. He stayed off the wall.
Keep it off the wall there.
Go, go, go.
He saved it.
He got 197 TM.
I'm sure the 20 car played a role in all that. Robbie Gordon trying to stay off the 20 car.
That was good stuff. We were running hard. We had a great engine tonight. Have to thank the Roush engine shop for that. Kenseth and I finished 3rd and 4th. Good to race Matt at the end. And set up all of that. We were racing hard. 20 was holding us up a little bit with the 31 and us and the 32 behind us. 20 slips getting into 1. 31 gets underneath them now. Now they're racing through 1 and 2, which creates a draft for the 3rd car. And the 31 was a little bit loose, and when I got there, I had a head of steam, and I hated to use him as a caution. But he dumped us at Richmond. I didn't feel like that was the right thing at Richmond, but I didn't feel like that was the right thing to do tonight. But we needed a caution to catch that 12. That was the only way it was going to be a show at the end.
Very top of the screen, Kurt Busch is on the inside of Jimmy Spencer. Down that long straightaway, Kurt moves over to get some air between the 2 cars. Get to turn 3.
He just booted him out of the way. Wow, that's not good.
I mean, here you got a guy coming, okay, he passed him clean, and you can see the car was slowing up in front of you. I don't think Kurt's going to let that one go over too easy. And great news there.
Oh, he's mad at somebody.
Yes, he is.
He's angry at somebody.
I think he's got his weapon. Oh, no, it's his hat.
He's going down and just tell somebody when they go by that he's angry.
All right. Survey says. Who's he racing with there? We're here, and it's a red car. Jimmy Spencer? Yeah. But that would be what, the 3rd or 4th time this year that they've tangled?
Just been having troubles with turn 3 this weekend. In qualifying, we spun, and that put us in a bad position back there with the decrepit old has-beens, I guess. It's just been a tough way. I mean, when he calls out what he's going to do and then actually goes out there and does it, I mean, I guess he's a never was is really the term that we need to bring up today. But real unfortunate, we had the car to beat. We were going to the front. Rubbermaid, very sorry about it. we'll go back and work at it next week. I mean, it's tough when you bump somebody at 100 miles an hour, and then when they come back and bump at 200 miles an hour. So if that's the way that Jimmy Spencer is, we know how he is, and we're not going to play like that.
All right, Kurt, I want to ask you one more question regarding the safer barrier. You hit it. How did that feel? You're the tester.
Yeah, I was the first one to test it out. I'm okay. I guess it did its job. I knew it was going to be a hard hit. I braced myself. You know, the lessons that we learned as far as Dr. Melvin and the things that he's implemented with us, it's great that I can walk away from a wreck like that, backing it at a 200-mile-an-hour rate.
What did it feel like, Kurt?
It felt bad. I mean, there's nothing that you can say that would describe exactly what happens, except for standing in the boxing rink and having a heavyweight just knock you upside the head.
Whoa, push, push,
Oh,
push.
now loose, now loose. Get off the throttle. And he's going to lose his spot.
Oh, touch. Hit.
Yeah, they don't forget, do they? Nobody does in this business.
See, I'm not very good at being bad. I was trying to flatten the 7th car fender, and I got mine. I needed to be further forward on his car.
And they just showed on TV, just missed by about an inch of these two, not far enough forward.
Inches only count unless you're playing horseshoes and hand grenades. And I don't really want to play either with that clown.
Look at Spencer just blow by Jeff Guerra. Thought he was going by Gordon. Here comes Kurt Busch right up on the back bumper of Jimmy Spencer. Spencer gets loose. Wow.
That's arrow loose. At its best.
The leader. Kurt Busch out in front.
You better. What do you got? You have the run of your life.
In the garage area may have actually been more exciting than the race. Kurt Busch and Jimmy Spencer kind of duked it out on the racetrack, and that flowed over to the post-race activities. Jimmy actually bumped the number 97 as they entered the garage area, and then sources tell me Jimmy got out of the car, approached Kurt Busch, and actually punched Kurt Busch. Authorities are looking into it, as is NASCAR. But
what happened last week was an assault after the race, and what had happened leading up to that in the past was I've got 2 wrecked race cars out of it, and I don't respect Jimmy Spencer. And therefore, what happened over the audio during the race and then after the race was because of the fact I don't respect him. I never expected him to cross over that line. And so with having 2 wrecked race cars, that's why I don't respect him. And
I've said it to everybody, 2 wrongs don't make a right. And I think Kurt Busch was, somebody tried to wreck me at 190 miles an hour. I wouldn't take it very kindly either. And I certainly wouldn't have parked my car behind that guy's hauler either. But, you know, NASCAR did what they have to do, and I certainly support NASCAR on their situation. I think they should have done equally the same to Kurt Busch, because I think Kurt is, you know, I mean, it takes 2 people to create a situation. And as we've all found out after the issue, that there was a lot of intentional bumping and stuff going on. There's nobody any more remorseful or sorry than Jimmy Spencer is today. And I'm going to tell you, when we're here for the appeal, he says, you know, I thought he was going to cry. He says he loves this sport so much, and he knows what he did was absolutely uncalled for. But, you know, if you don't have emotions in this sport, you don't belong in it. And, you know, it just, Kurt Busch pushed him over the edge.
Uh-oh. He's going to get some help from Kurt Busch.
Sure did. And I'll tell you what, when you get hit going into a corner, there's not a whole lot you can do.
That's the worst.
Watch here as he goes down at turn 1, gets in the back of Sterling.
And look at Harvick go up the hill and cannot keep his car down, and Busch goes to the front.
Sterling Marlin, after his couple of pit stops, is back in 23rd position. Kurt Busch saying this after the tangle between he and Sterling Marlin moments ago.
He was trying to let me go, and he got his right sides up in the fuzz. I didn't know he was trying to let me go. I didn't think anybody was going to cut me a break tonight, so I'm really sorry.
And NASCAR race director David Hoots came on the NASCAR channel and asked the inspector in Kurt Busch's pit to communicate to his crew chief Jimmy Fennig that if Kurt was involved in anything with a car in front of him later tonight, he would be brought to pit road and the penalty box would be opened. Dave?
Well, right there, you know, he didn't really mean to get into Sterling, you know, and I told him NASCAR's watching us. We're on probation, we know it, you know, so we're trying to be extra careful out there.
I can't mention any of my sponsors or any of my people or anything before I apologize for Sterling Marlin. I got into him, and it was a place where he was trying to let me go, and I was trying to get into one and set him up and get underneath him out of two. So, apologize to Sterling. I didn't mean to do that, and that somewhat overshadows this. Obviously, the probation does, but this was a night for Sharpie. They signed on for this race. This is their race. They're sponsors of this for 3 more years, and I'm sponsoring this car. I want to race this car. I want to do anything that I can to help this team and get behind them and do what I've got to do to be competitive.
How tough was this week?
This is by far the biggest win. I don't know whether to enjoy it, what to do with it right now. This beats all of my wins. It's so sweet to come here with all the hype and all the things that were going on this week to drag me down, all the tabloids. The things that I was trying to stay focused on were the race car, and I think I got the job done there.
Obviously, you heard the reception at driver introductions, a mixed reception here in Victory Lane, Kurt.
Yeah, Dale Sr. told me the guy that's got the most noise wins. You know, the crowd here will envelope you and circumference you and let you know how they feel, that's for sure. That's what Bristol's all about. And the group here, you know, there's a bunch of them that are screaming, there's a bunch of them that are crying. My boys behind me, this is what matters, and my sponsors, Ford, Sharpie, the whole bunch at Newell Rubbermaid, Coca-Cola, Kraft, all the guys that helped me out. It's just a blast to drive this car and to put this behind us.
You thanked your crew on the radio for sticking with you.
They've been supporters just from no end. I mean, there's been so much going on this week, and I don't know really what to say or what was going on through their minds at all, but they're a group that smiles all the time. They're never going to get up, and I'm just glad that we can bring it home to Victory Lane.
We just couldn't get going on the restarts. You know, GM Goodwin's car was really good all night. We just, you know, for 4, 5, 6 laps, really had a tough time. It felt like all the tires were flat and just couldn't get going. Hate losing to Rubberhead, but, you know, I think he's learning what being a butthole will get you when you win the race, and everybody's in here booing for you. So, good night for Jim Goodwin's car.
It's awesome, you know, take a week off. Sure didn't want to, and but you know, NASCAR has rules and you have to abide by them. So, you know, I made a mistake and it's over with, and I'm sorry for what happened.
Rusty kind of slides up, and they just tried making it 3 wide. Boy, you can't fault anybody there. See Schrader there on the inside. He got away with it. Race car weighs what, 3,400 pounds? It's not easy to pop a wheelie. No. Yikes.
Here comes down pit road, and around he goes, and
see all the fluid on the rear tire.
Well, the official got that guy out of the way. Attaboy, look at all that fluid he's putting down.
Right there. Boy, that's scary. Good thing that was Dan and not when everybody was pitting race cars.
Well, how did Earnhardt used to sell you on pitting?
He'd say, I'm in. Oh, no. Trouble, man, big trouble.
At least there. 3 cars and more.
Lots of trouble up there.
Jeff Gordon's involved.
Just look out,
Kevin Harvick.
I couldn't tell what happened, but somebody got into the back of the 16 car and turned him.
I believe
Robbie
it was
Gordon, big
Busch,
damage.
the 97 car.
And the first contact may have been between the Roush teammates, Busch and Biffle. Jeff Gordon torn up.
Bring back that rock, Jeff. Bring it to the pit. Bring it to the pit.
Sterling Marlin, who transferred from the open. Biffle trying to get restarted. That's just out the exhaust pipe. Joe Nemechek.
Boy, we see that all too often for Joe. That car has just been in the wrong place at the wrong time so many times this year.
That's his second car of the weekend.
Flat tire and nose damage on Gordon. Well, let's see what happens.
Let's see here. It's a 16 car, and he gets turned.
That's his teammate Kurt Busch behind him in the 97 car that gets into the back of him. He goes down and collects Jimmy Johnson in the 48, and then it just starts stacking up behind him. Look at Brian Vickers in the 25, just getting by.
Well, it looked like Michael did a good job of squeezing through there. number of guys did, but a number of guys didn't as well.
Boy, Darrell, about every 4 years we have an all-star race like this. It's like a full moon Saturday night.
You know, Mike, I kept saying, though, I had this feeling about tonight. I could just feel it in the air.
Watch this right here, guys, right there just past the start-finish line. This is happening at over 180, almost 190 miles per hour.
Now, listen, that was totally uncalled for, and you can say, well, I was bump drafting, but you don't bump draft at Charlotte Motor Speedway going down into turn 1.
Schrader involved. Marlin wrecked.
I think the replay shows that Kurt Busch got his head up as whatever, you know. I mean, I guess I got to take Kevin Harvick's, you know, road, but I just don't understand what. I mean, you got to finish the race to do anything, and he wrecked us on the straightaway. I mean, not in the corner, not going in the corner, on the straightaway. I never lifted on the gas, you know. I mean, he had more motor than I did, you know, because he's higher in points, but I feel bad for these guys. A really good car. We're going to the front. I felt that we had a chance at $1 million tonight for sure. Had a good enough race car, but you got to have teammates with common sense.
Greg, how disappointing is this for you?
It's terrible disappointing, and it's worse for Roush Racing. I mean, we took out the whole field. Kurt Busch took out the whole field, and 2 really good cars had a chance at $1 million tonight. If I was Jack Roush, I don't know what I'd do.
Somebody wasn't using their head, because you just don't wreck on the straightaways. I mean, and it is frustrating. We come here, this is a great race, an exciting race, but damn, you just don't wreck on the straightaways. And just unfortunate. We had pitted. We had 0 laps on this car before qualifying last night, a backup ar. Drove good in qualifying. We guessed on a race setup. I was a little bit too tight, so we decided to pit there. I don't think it would have made a difference if we didn't pit or not, but we just trying to get our car better, and all of a sudden they started wrecking. I was committed to high line, and you just can't do anything about it. You know, Sterling Marlin was up on top of my hood, and I don't know, just people got to use their heads better than that.
Yeah, he got a run on 17 coming out of 4, and I just wanted to help him usher down the straightaway. But the way our noses are pinned and the tails are up with the stiff rear springs, my car lifted his instead of helping push him. Just an all-star type bump where you just wanted to try to help him, and he's a teammate of mine. I didn't mean to wreck him, and I apologize for all the wrecked race cars out on pit road.
How disappointing is this for you, Kurt? We talked about, you know, all the excitement just before the race. Your thoughts now?
I got to get myself in check, I guess. I mean, we're only 12 laps in, and I've got a wrecked race car. Last week we had the fastest car out on the track, and we had to put it in a trailer after the race without a good finish. We need a finish.
Really tough. I mean, I was excited how our car was handling. You know, we started back there 20-something because we got some penalties during the pit stop competition. And, heck, we drove by some really good cars. Drove by the 8 car, 88, got all the way up to, I think, 12th or 13th. So, you know, I'm disappointed, obviously. I guess the 97 got in the back of the 16, which doesn't surprise me. You know, I think he's caused a couple of them here in the All-Star races so far. I know he spun me a couple years ago, so I was just disappointed I didn't get to him before he got somebody else.
Tony Stewart, no trouble.
Scott brings the 10 car, around he goes.
A lot of guys behind him.
Oh, man, that was close.
Caution is out. Riggs rolls away. There are 15 scoring loops around this track. The scoring will revert to the previously passed loop.
Sure looks like contact from the rear on that one.
Yeah. I did my guess, but they were in a big pack.
Forgot I was on the outside of him.
Someone forgot he was on the outside of him, he said.
Yeah. This could be a huge break for the 24.
Yeah, because they're going to have to come down and get that fender fixed.
Tony Stewart is the race leader. Once the caution comes out, the teams stop racing. See if we can see what happened here.
I guess Kurt Busch's, I don't know. Kurt Busch, the 97 car, was around the 10. I don't know if he was the one that Scott was talking about was underneath him or not.
Let's take a look from Harvick's car, see what he saw. Looks like the 97 ran up into him.
You think?
Looked like the 97
That's the way I saw it.
Yeah.
Looked like the 97 got loose, and when he corrected, just ran up right in the side of the 10 car.
Well, look at that slide there on the 10 car.
And the 97 car around.
Busch in the wall, the defending series champion. Caution is out at New Hampshire.
One down already.
Oh, my goodness. But last year I said I think you can have one mulligan in the 10 races. and we can see the water from under the car, so the radiator is broken. He's going to have to go to the garage, replace the radiator, and get some of the sheet metal from around the tires.
Well, I mean, he's going to finish probably 40-something in points, even if he gets the car fixed and comes back out. So it's this is one of those situations you're starting off being in the hole. You know, your first race and you're already in the hole, and that hole is deep to climb out of in 9 more races. It looked like the 10 car, Scott Ricks, got loose. He got loose, and he's trying to save it, and unfortunately, Kurt Busch was up on the high side, and he got tagged, and that was it.
There's Kurt Busch already out of his car.
And he's headed for pit road.
Yep, he sure is.
Back in New Hampshire, Kurt Busch knocked out early. Kurt, on your way up pit road, where are you going? What's the message you want to deliver?
I don't know who the crew chief of the 10 is, so I just want to talk to him a little bit. The 10 car, we've had issues in the past, and this isn't the place to repay somebody.
Especially what's so involved here with this championship.
Yeah, it's pretty big, isn't it?
You can see he is delivering his message. Real quick, what did he say? What did he say, Kurt?
You know, the 10 just got into us. I think he just got loose. He had a great qualifying run. He's a car that was on the bottom side. He needed to get more room to the guys on the top side.
How difficult now, Kurt, using your mulligan up so early?
You just got to come from behind, so we got to come from behind every race now.
You can see from the damage on the car, a lot of fluid leaking from it. The Sharpie guys already at work in the garage trying to rebuild this race car to get back out to get some points.
No, not any leftover feelings at all. Just racetrack's real green. Rain last night. This place just really slick after it rains, and just stuck down on the bottom, and there ain't much you can do except for wait for a hole and try to get up. So feel bad for those guys. You know, it wasn't anything trying to get him back. You know, when Kurt got into us at Indy, you know, he just got loose. It was a mistake, an accident. You know, we forgave him, and today was just an accident, so hopefully he'll forgive us, forget about this deal.
5 to go, and there he goes.
Into 29, Kevin Harvick's going to go by him as well.
It's not over.
Yeah, but there's no question about what happened there. I mean, the 29 was coming, and the 29 is still coming.
4 to go.
We're still green.
Still green. Still green. Busch wins it.
Woo! Man. We got to go back. Oh, yeah, that's probably not very happy right there either.
Matt Kenseth denied the win by the bumper of Kurt Busch.
But, Darrell, it was less than 10 laps to go. Kurt Busch was much faster than Matt Kenseth.
Well, and the 29, I mean, the 29's going to get up there and knock Kurt Busch out of the way if he doesn't go on by Matt Kenseth. So that's just Bristol, baby. Now, that's one thing I will say. That's just Bristol.
This is unreal to have this car, and then just the determination today from the crew. We had a flat tire early, and to bounce back from that. I'm just so happy to be able to have the chance to drive this car and to have Roger's privilege to do so, and to get Miller Lite into victory lanes with this Dodge. An awesome short track win for us. We've been close, but we just haven't had the luck this year, and today we had to muscle past Kenseth, and he's a good friend of mine. Sorry, Matt. I think he'll be okay with it next week. You know, he knows that this is short track racing. He knows he slipped a little bit. He knows how hungry we were to win.
All right, maybe someone back there who wasn't quite the friend, at least this week. You feeling the pressure from Mr. Harvick?
You know, we beat him today. We didn't feel anything from him. It's a great group of guys.
Well, I want to start by saying happy birthday to my mom. It's my mom's birthday today, and I want to say happy birthday to her, and I want to say hi to my son, Ross. I have to apologize to Jeff. He's right. I mean, it was my fault. He did bump me out of the way, and I did wreck him, but it was not intentional. I drove in too hard. I was just watching a replay of him wrecking somebody. I mean, I didn't do it on purpose, and I would be mad if I was him, and I left my car to go over to apologize him, which I probably should have waited a little bit longer. So, Kurt Steele, you know, I mean, we are great friends. We've always raced good together, and, you know, he just knocked me out of the way. You know, I thought if he had a run under me and had me beat, that would have been okay. But I had a better car. I could beat him off the corner, but he just drove in extra hard and knocked me out of the way. So I thought it was a little bit of a cheap shot, but I was holding everybody up. I couldn't get the 88 to get out of my way for whatever reason. I know he had to be laps down, as beat up as his car was, and I just couldn't get by him. I just couldn't get it done. I just feel like I let these guys down again. They did a great job on pit road, and just want to thank all my sponsors and my team. They just give me a great opportunity to drive this stuff.
Right in the middle of your screen. Here it comes.
Ooh, he got turned on the straightaway.
He did. Ooh.
That was Kurt Busch.
I believe Kurt Busch. I believe Kurt Busch may have lifted him up.
It's pretty obvious that Kurt Busch got in the back of somebody, and that somebody is Greg Biffle.
Friend Nicole, Greg Biffle, talking to Eva.
Yeah, this is Eva Braun right there. That's Kurt's fiance, and this is Greg Biffle's girlfriend right there. And it looks to me like she was really upset.
There's no words that you don't have to explain that one.
You know, Kurt had a little bit of a run. I was trying to get by the lap car, and I moved up in front of him, and you know, clearly was in front of him, and he didn't want to let off the gas, just run into the back of me and just turn me into the fence. You know, he needed to check out of the throttle a little bit. That's the way, you know, give and taking out there, but he didn't want to do it. You know, didn't want to give and take, and you know, if he doesn't want to give and take on the racetrack, I won't give and take on the racetrack. But you know, I could have got an opportunity to probably do that to him yesterday, and felt like that wasn't the thing to do, and just hate for all the guys in the Subway car, you know, get taken out of this race. We had a really good car, and would like to get up there and race with Casey, but we'll just have to wait for Phoenix.
Here under caution, and here's why. It involves Kurt Busch in the 2.
Yeah, look up high. Not sure what's going on there. If he had a right rear tire going down, or I mean, he was awfully high, but it didn't look like he was so high he was in the marbles. But don't know.
Now, obviously, the spin here, that brings out the caution. You'll see the light turn red, but Kurt had to come down pit road at that point anyway because he's going to need tires. Might as well dive on there and get them done because you're going to restart at the tail end of the longest line anyway.
Dude, these cars are out of control. I can't believe how different they are with their tires. We'll just keep running like you did before. I can't run up there, Ron. You're dead sideways, man.
Caution is out.
Oh. I believe he hit the wall, but again, since we talked last.
Well, he said it was a handful.
Yeah, something definitely broke and went down there. Wow. Just finishing it off there.
It has been a difficult season for him. They had very high hopes for the former series champion.
Let's watch it. I don't know if Kurt got into the back of Tony or not. Let's wait till we get around here and see. Tony's car just Tony hit the apron. He got down on the apron. He got a little bit loose. Kurt was all over the back of him, and there he goes.
Tony's dropped the window net on his car. That's a signal to safety workers that he is okay. Watch the yellow line.
Yeah, watch the left front tire. Gets it on the apron just a little bit. You see the car wiggle, and he gets loose. He's got to probably lift out of the throttle a tad. And here comes Kurt. Cannot get off of him. They make contact.
And then once Tony gets sideways, nowhere for Kurt Busch, the 2 to go.
What a shame.
You're doing 185 miles an hour, Darrell. The car in front of you suddenly loses several miles an hour of momentum. Was there anything Kurt Busch could do to avoid Stewart?
No, you could see he was trying to get down. He was trying to get underneath Tony to get away from him. It wasn't possible. He did everything he could do.
We had a good run on the 20 car, bumped into him a little bit, and we both got taken out of the Daytona 500 off of my mistake. So I hate it for my guys. They work real hard at putting together good cars, and our sponsor Miller Lite and everybody that's involved with the team. We're real poised for a good run towards the end here, and we just got bottled up, a bunch of guys sliding around, and I made the first mistake. So I apologize to the 20 car. I know it doesn't help any. He's been a great friend at all these restrictor plate races. So we'll dig out of this, and we'll be back next week in California.
I don't know, I was just in the center of the corner, and all of a sudden it took off on me. So, you know, I haven't seen it, so I don't know what happened. But pretty impressive to go to the back and get all the way back up to the front like that. I was really happy. That Home Depot Monte Carlo was awesome today. I mean, you know, we fought back. We kind of were in a bad position that one pit stop where we had Robbie Gordon coming in, you know, toward the tail of the field. We were ready to go, and I stalled it trying to get out ahead of him, and then him and the 38 get together, and they're wrecked, and it just got us to the back, and then I just wasn't paying attention to my pit lane speed, and it was my fault and got us behind. So just got us to the back, but I was proud of, you know, I thought it would be a little quicker than it was getting to the front, but it took a lot longer than I anticipated. The cars are just so tight back there, and it's so hard to drive back there if you're in bad air, but just proud of these guys. I mean, they never got worked up. I never got worked up. We were back in front.
Tony, you're out of the 500, but you're able to smile. Is that going to be a testament to the confidence you have in your season?
Oh, I'm excited. I mean, these guys have done such a good job all week. I mean, our Chevy was fast. I mean, every time we were on the track, it's been fast. So just wasn't meant to be today. So just real proud of everybody at Home Depot, all 350,000 associates that were rooting for us today. We'll come back next year and get one.
He's going to take second spot away from Burton. Here comes his brother Kyle to the inside.
And almost wrecked him.
I told you.
There he goes.
I told
he
you.
did.
I told you.
Oh, my gosh.
Checkers are wreckers.
That boy's got a lot of talent. If only he can harness it on a weekly basis.
How'd you like to be the referee in that family?
Yeah, I was waiting for the day, and we got together. I was making a clean move on the 31, and then I got a car on my inside when I'm on the bottom lane. And so I was waiting for the day when we got together. We did, and we were racing for $1 million. You know, the tough part is I wrecked real close to the end at the Daytona 500, and there was a lot of money up for line, and a guy named Harvick won the race. A guy named Harvick's leading right now. So that was a bummer to have my little brother pull that move on me, and maybe I should have given an inch instead of taking an inch from him. But hey, that's what the All-Star race is all about. I just hate I got a wrecked race car, and so does he.
You will talk to him.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll talk to each other. It's just tough to have this scenario happen out on the track, but inevitably it was going to happen. So we'll see what he has to say about it, and we'll see what we can do to discuss it. But right now, I'm not eating any Kellogg's anytime soon.
A 4-car jam session that we've been watching for a lap or two has ended up with Kurt Busch in the wall. In the number 2, he was racing with Tony Stewart, Greg Biffle, and younger brother Kyle.
That was predictable. I mean, these guys were not cutting each other any slack, and they'd been doing it for a number of laps, and it was going to happen sooner or later.
This was coming off turn 4.
Now, Tony had already passed Kurt a couple of times, and he passed him back, and this time he just didn't. Kurt tried to come up in front of Tony, and he said, we're not having any part of that.
Yeah, there was not a lot of give and take right there.
Not at all.
Denny Hamlin in the midst of that as well. Isn't this about the 3rd time, at least the 3rd time this year, that those 2 cars, beginning at the Daytona 500, have crashed together?
Here they are racing each other pretty hard, and you see Biff run in there and bump the back of Kurt. Now, Kurt gets a run underneath Tony Stewart here, and he thinks he's probably got him cleared, or at least he needs some room up. Ain't going to happen.
As they're looking at the damage to Stewart's car, Kurt comes up to offer his opinion.
And guess what they got in the 2 car? Parked
for the day.
Meet me at the Oval office.
You know, pit road was just me stopping there to make a point and only making the situation worse. So that was my fault. But out on the racetrack with Tony, you know, we raced 10, 15 laps side by side. He didn't give an inch, and I was making sure that I stayed off of him because earlier in the day, he tried to wreck us at 2 restarts, so I'm not sure where he came from today. It's really confusing on that side of it, but he did get mission accomplished. He wrecked us, and I have no idea what it stems from, so tough day for us, our Miller Lite Dodge. And then just to hear that Bill France Jr. passed away, that's a tough moment. So I feel bad that, you know, some of this is going to be overshadowed. What I did, but the most important thing is the France family today, so condolences to them. And, you know, for me, we just didn't finish again by a guy not giving an inch. Plenty of guys behind me all stacked up. He had let a few guys go. Don't know where he's coming from today, so we're all real confused. Well, you know, I regret my actions and what happened on Monday's race. And, you know, the incident was out on the track, not on pit road. And so I didn't mean to jeopardize anybody's safety, and that's something that I've talked to J.D. Gibbs and Coach Gibbs about, as well as Jason Lee, that crew guy. So, you know, the points and the money, it's what it is. We just need to work hard and gain some points back this week, and we've got the next 20-some-odd races to gain those points.
What's been the reaction from the peers in the garage area? We're going to let you go be introduced. How about that?
We need to go do that? All right.
I don't know. I mean, Kurt's a good guy. I mean, you know, he's been catching a bunch of crap this week, and it's heat of the moment, and you know, it still doesn't mean it was a good deal by any means. It still was a bad deal, but you know, that's what makes him such a personality in this sport, and me too. I mean, I've done things worse than what he's done, so you know, it's you know, we all get through it, and we're back racing this week, and you know, I'm glad he's still here. I mean, I know there were people that wanted him to be parked for a week, but you know, I think this week caught his attention a little bit, and you know, like I said, I just, you know, maybe he got the picture that he's, you know, racing guys a little harder at wrong times of the race, and you know, maybe this week gave him some time to think about it.
Now, you've won here in the past, but you've joked that this has been a tough racetrack for you for about the past 3 years. But the team had a lot of smiles at the end of final practice. How good is the car?
I'm excited about it. You know, our Home Depot car was really good yesterday. And I knew it was good off the truck when we started in race practice on Friday. So I'm excited. I mean, having it overcast today probably is actually, I think, will even play into our favor a little bit more. So I'm excited. I'm ready to go.
And this is like your all-star lineup from Wednesday night behind you.
No, I know. We all ran dirt the other night, and then we all qualify up front this week, so maybe that's a good omen. I don't know, but I know we all had fun Wednesday night, and we had a great show last night. Steve Casebolt won the race, and Scott Bloomquist ran second, had another great show. So I was really excited. It was an awesome weekend. I'm glad it's over. I can finally get some rest now.
Yeah, I mean, we're okay with things. We're racers. We're both champions, and we both know what we had to do to get to this point in the sport, and we'll both move on from this. So we just need to give each other some more room out on the track, and things will be cool.
You raced for one of the most respected men in the garage area, Roger Penske. What did he have to say about all this?
You know, we had some conference calls and had a lot of people in on it, and we're trying to put our arms around the problem exactly, and that stemmed from out on the track, and we don't need to compound the problem any further. So we're putting this behind us. We're moving forward, and he's got the team behind me 100%, and we've got 100 points to go gain, but yet we've got more to do that. More time is ahead of us, and we just need to get ourselves locked in the chase, and we'll be all right.
Speaking of on the track, you're pretty good at this one. Second twice here last year. How about today? You start 27th, so a little traffic to work through.
Yeah, we didn't qualify as good. The backup, that was its first lap running with it, and so the Miller Lite Dodge is solid. We just haven't found the right key things to change with this new tire, and so that's kept us behind a little bit, but we've got all day to work on it, and Roger's always got that pit strategy up his sleeve.
Tony Stewart is in trouble. Oh, Tony Stewart, what everyone hoped would not happen, and he has trouble, and he gets the 99 car involved.
Man, I tell you, that was just a bad decision right there. Leave him out there. I was worried about that.
10th caution flag today, and Tony Stewart has had a bad day go to worse, and not a great day now for the 99 car because he was caught in that situation.
We don't really know what caused this spin with Tony Stewart. It may have been that tire or not, but well, he sure does look frustrated here.
Very angry, Tony Stewart in the car, and a lot of frustration. Word is he may have had some contact from another car.
Because the tire quit smoking. I mean, he was doing a great job nursing that thing around there, just being very careful with the fender. And he did a great job with it because it was smoking less and less. But this might have been a complete different situation here.
Well, the problem was he was going backwards, and he was being passed by so many cars.
Well, they had dodged the bullet a number of times today, and he was just trying to baby the car and take care of that left front tire. Climbs out, still has the Hans device on. All heavy damage on the back of that 20 car. Let's show you what happened here. Lap 175. Here comes the 2 car.
It looks like Tony was having some problems right there, struggling up against the up high, and the 2 car just had too much momentum on him.
Carl Edwards was on the high side, and he was trying to have nowhere to go, and Tony's car spun up, and Carl just goes right into him. So damage on the front of the 99, and there's the heavy damage on the back of the 2-time.
Yeah, we see the tires flat on the left front. Tony probably had that tire go down and trying to get out of the way, and 2 car got into the back of it. Yeah, that's exactly. You see the sparks flying out from under the car. Nowhere for Kurt Busch to go.
That's a great pickup, Andy. The tire going down, and suddenly Tony slows up, and there's nowhere for Kurt to go right behind him.
Yeah, not totally unintentional by Kurt Busch. Tough break for Carl Edwards, too. He's got his hand out the window.
Watch the left front there. See his hand come up. If his hand comes out.
Tires down. You see the sparks flying.
Yeah. The sparks are flying out. The tires went flat. And what's Tony probably so frustrated about, he's trying to slow down, get out of the way, and he gets hit behind. And really, Kurt didn't have anywhere to go. He just couldn't slow down that quick. Just a tough deal for both of these drivers. 2 chase contenders, 3 chase contenders in this now. So, wow, the chase contenders here at Kansas City today have had a tough go of this.
Tony Stewart began the day second in the chase, just 2 points out of the lead. Here again's what happened. Watch the left front. See the sparks come out, abruptly slows, and there's the 2 car.
And I wonder how much damage Kurt Busch has on the front of his car, too. He had the fastest car in the field earlier. Poor Carl Edwards, he couldn't see anything.
You know, the amazing thing about this tire failure on the left front of the 20 car is that it didn't actually blow out.
And here's what happened in Budweiser Shootout practice.
This is practice, Johnny. The 2 and 20, once again, bam. Who's at fault? I don't know. I just think that was more racing, not giving and taking. The 2 car and the 20 car. Give me a break, guys. It's practice. Kurt moves up. Yes, but Tony could lift a little bit here. You know what I'm getting at, Kenny? I mean, let's face it. There was no give and take in that.
It reminds me of Allen Iverson, the basketball player. It's practice.
Kenny, this is where he's wrong. Look at this. Once again, bam. Come on, we're aiming on pit road. The cars are under caution. Kurt Busch, you are wrong for doing that. You cannot do that, Kenny.
Well, one thing I have to say, before anybody throughout the United States tries to separate these two, they are both champions. They both have great car control. But most importantly, they both are the same-minded people. They're both brutally in control of their careers. They know what they're going to do. And I'm going to tell you what, I've seen Tony Stewart do the same thing. But yet, you get him one-on-one at a dirt track at Eldora. These two guys were best friends last year. You get both of them one-on-one in the RV lot, and they're the nicest people. And I'm going to tell you what, Spence, they are the same people. Look at these guys. They're like boxers. They're in the ring, and they battle royale every year.
Well, here's a guy that made, a whale of a recovery as far as Daytona is concerned. He and his crew chief, Pat Tryson, took that number 2 right there, Blue Deuce, and they were able to start at the back of the pack with only 2 laps on that race car.
A brand new race car,
and bring it all the way up to where. Excuse that right there, but I'm not very happy with his car right now.
Apologize for his language.
Exactly.
But in the heat of battle?
Heat of battle right now. He finished 4th last week at Daytona, but he's not off to too good a start here at Chicagoland.
Track far up, get the air out of the right rear. That was a stupid adjustment. Hope we're proud of ourselves for that run. That was excellent. Our day's about shot now. You just do your best here. You're going to be fine, okay? There's no way we can compete. All that we're doing is hanging on to a track position that was given to us. It's the most frustrating thing in the world to think that you think that we're better than what we are.
If you didn't blow yourself up, we'd be a lot better. I'll tell you that right now. I'm watching this thing, okay? You made a change. It didn't work. Instead of saying, okay, let's go back with it, all we hear is a bunch of stuff on the radio. So let's get serious here, okay? You understand?
Oh, 10-4, dude. 10-4. Roger, we don't make any good adjustments during the race. If we started 39th, we'd be 3 laps down running about 35th. Do you understand that?
I don't understand your thinking if you want to know the truth. Let's just drive this thing. Do the best you can. Everyone's trying, okay? Well, we don't need a lot of rhetoric that's always negative, okay? I know it's not perfect.
The left front there, Kurt. Pound and a half there, right front. Pound left front, pound and a half right front. Sounds like it's dialed in.
Jimmy Johnson, I thought he was going to make a
Kurt Busch goes around.
And that's exactly what we're talking about.
And that's what happens. There's nothing you can do right there. You know, and the 48 was out there. He stuffed it in there. Kurt almost needed to roll out of it. But at this latest stage, at this late point of the race, you can't roll out of it.
But that's the deal. When you're on the outside like that, you are asking for trouble.
You see Jimmy come at you. Watch Jimmy's car when it hits the curb.
Yeah.
Boom. The car sets to the right, then comes back to the left. And as it sets and comes back, Jimmy's just hanging on.
That's a hard call to make for the 2 to let off the gas there.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
2 should not have let off. That's a bad call on Kyle Petty's part right there.
They all gave it back to him. Look at Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson and
Kurt Busch.
I don't think Kurt knew that Jimmy was there. Kurt was trying to get away to the inside and clear the 83 car, and just Jimmy was there.
Oh, more contact, more paint rubbing, and Jeff Gordon dives to the bottom to try to avoid it all.
That looked like a comeback to me.
Kurt's got a tire rubbing right now.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, that's gonna be big right now.
Still out there.
Oh, and is that Boyer in the 33 with Keselowski in there too, and Keselowski goes all the way to the wall.
No, I felt like we had a good 8th to 12th place car. That's where our car's been running, and just needed to work on it, get it better. And the 48, we got run into at Sonoma, we got run into again. Starting to lose faith in his ability to be a 3-time champion on the track.
Heck, I don't even know. I think the 24 got inside of me and got me loose because he was on new tires, and 2 and I touched, and he body slammed me after that.
Here he comes off at turn 4.
Checker flag. Jimmy Johnson scores his 50th career Sprint Cup win.
Yeah, we were solid all day. We just got beat at the end on luck of the draw on restarts. That's what our sport's about. It's just random luck on which lane's going to go. But I don't know. I'd rather lose to any other 41 cars out there than this 48 car. I thought we had them beat. I gave it my heart today, but to come up short, it's all right. We did good at Bristol. I'm happy to have Steve Addington on my team. He's really making me believe the Busch brothers can't drive. It's all about Steve Addington. So great day for our Miller Lite Dodge. It's a shame we didn't bring it home for a victory. We're really good here at Bristol. We're not so good at Martinsville. So hey, it's all right to finish third.
Jeff Gordon may have something to say about this race before the day's over with, though, the way he got that restart.
Jimmy Johnson outstanding in practice here yesterday. Kurt Busch with contact, the bump and run, new leader. The Blue Deuce out in front.
7 to go.
And that
I'm talking about.
That is boys have at it racing right there. There is nothing wrong with driving down in the corner, getting a guy a little bit out of shape. That's a classic Darrell Waltrip, Dale Earnhardt, whoever you want to say move.
You just want to get gone right now because you do not want the 48 back on your bumper at any time between now and
bounced
this
off
race.
the wall.
That was a pretty good hit off the wall right there that we saw. But you're exactly right. Once you make that bump and run, you put the bit in your mouth and you never look in the mirror again, man.
Johnson reeling him in every lap.
And it's coming. Here it is. It's gonna happen.
Johnson has won 4 times this year, including a week ago. 2 victories in 2010 for Busch. Repay, a little contact in the corner.
Same place.
You just do it.
And look here. Look at the 14 right here in the mirror. Just hoping these guys do it.
2 laps to go. They're side by side at the stripe. Into one. Jimmy Johnson the advantage.
But I tell you, Kurt's not giving an inch right here.
Well, this is really hard right there because Jimmy couldn't make the pass and slide up in front of him. Now he clears him.
New race leader, Jimmy Johnson out front with a lap and a half to go. Those the top 3 cars.
Look at this 14 right here, just digging on the inside.
Tony Stewart, who started deep in the field, he's making a late race rally, battling Kurt Busch for second. White flag has gone out. Final lap at New Hampshire.
Tony got a little loose. Look at him wash up the racetrack into the 22 right there.
Smoke off of turn 2, able to slide in front of Kurt Busch. He now has the runner-up spot. Jimmy Johnson pulling away. For the 52nd time in his career, he's going to try and claim the checkers, and he's going to do it back-to-back. A win last week at Sonoma. Today, he does it in the Granite State. Johnson wins.
Keep the camera.
Look at Jimmy.
Yeah, right there. We could keep both these battles in this shot. Great job, guys. Down the stretch. Look out. Trouble. Kurt's into the wall. Boyer's in it as well. And Kurt's getting the worst of it.
Like a little bump drafting going on right there and trying to gain the advantage. Looks like the 48 got to the back of him a little bit.
Boy, he almost came back out onto the track right there. And there is the view as Kurt takes the wheel off.
Man, look at this car.
Oh, man, further back, Elliott Sadler. And look at this. Gosh. The engine is out of this thing.
Oh, my gosh. Well, that's the whole suspension. It's like the front part of the front suspension.
The window net is down for Elliott. He's got the helmet off already. That is the best news.
You can see he is
in some pain. Oh, man, I hate to see this. Look at the front of that car.
The engine completely out of the car. I can't remember the last time I saw one like that.
Kurt has climbed out. Well, I have to be honest with you. The last time I saw it was back when we were covering drag racing. And it's not a pretty sight when they have that happen over there either.
And Kurt took a hard lick also.
He's walking under his own power. But right now, Elliott Sadler, we have a red flag situation as Elliott did climb out of the car himself, but he has laid down right on the straightaway there. And the medical crew is there already. And just think good thoughts, folks.
Here's what Andy was talking about. The 48 was right on the 2. Looks like he might have got into him a little hard and turned him.
Yeah, he was trying to help him pass this 33 car, Clint Boyer, but
yeah,
that went bad there.
That's a hard lick at 180 miles an hour.
You know, and then Boyer tags Kurt Busch. There's where the front wheel came from, maybe off of this 2 car. Yeah, there it comes loose. And then Kurt takes a pretty hard lick here on this inside wall. We've been talking about the safety, you know, or lack thereof, on this back straightaway at this track. I mean, it's, you know, the grass is kind of a situation that's really hard to deal with when you have these cars getting off into it.
It was a situation that track officials were addressing this weekend. They're talking about putting catch fence along that straightaway. Let's take another look at it, and also putting safer barriers on the inside of this wall.
You can see Boyer was trying to side draft a little bit at the same time, so there wasn't any room for any error there.
I'm still trying to figure out, well, how Elliott Sadler got into all this.
I feel pretty good.
What happened?
Got wrecked on the straightaway.
How did it happen?
Jimmy Johnson drove straight through us.
Okay. Thank you, Kurt. Obviously, Kurt very upset with the situation, and pretty quick assertion of what happened.
Man, that was kind of my fault. Tell those guys I'm sorry. I was trying to bump draft them like you wanted me to. 10-4. We're a bunch of idiots running around with no idea what we're supposed to do. Trying to tell somebody back in August, but no, Kurt's just got an attitude. I love to hit the fence head on and get knocked out.
Yeah, down into turn 3 here. You can see Jeff dive down in. Right rear. Gets into the left rear quarter panel. Kurt Busch didn't like that.
And watch what happens next. Jeff Gordon from on board.
I'm sure Kurt feels like that he didn't have enough up there. He's getting in there.
He'll come back and give us a shot, cross us over, try to, and over-wreck us. Yep. Okay.
Now remember, I was getting ready to tell you, Jeff Gordon has finished in the top 5 in the last 11 races here, and in the top 10 in the last 15. The only person active streak better here
Do not
is
go.
a guy by the name of Jimmy Johnson, who's had
All right,
16.
left front looks good. How's the right rear look, Jace? Go out and come in, or can we work on it now? Go out? All right, everybody clear? Where's the pace car? All right, let's go get caught up. Come on, go get caught up.
Jeff Gordon has had his day pretty much taken care of with contact with the 2 of Kurt Busch. And it's basically taken what little championship hope he had and flushed it. Let's get to the 2 radio of Kurt Busch, listening to his side of this.
Yeah, check the damage on the nose, man. It sucked me right on in. I was trying to let him go.
I'm going to turn to my championship driver and say, you buy that?
No, I'm not buying that. He wasn't trying to let anybody go. He got done exactly what he was trying to do right there. Pretty big payback.
Look like a monkey in a football. The Penske back up. Joke. Everybody. Stay run close. Stay out here. Get close. What the for? Brad sitting in the middle of the pit road with his torn all to pieces.
You know, talking with Kyle about it, I feel like he definitely understands the mistake he made, and that speed is supposed to be saved for here out on the racetrack and putting on a good show. And, you know, all of us drivers have a responsibility as being role models for what we can teach our young out on the roadways. And there's posted speed limits, there's rules, there's laws. It's what we have to do. You know, and he knows he was in the wrong. And whatever comes of it, you know, he's got his court date and things will be ironed out. He'll learn from this situation and he'll be a better person. I think I was exactly 26 years old when I got to go through my big episode, and it definitely changes the way that that you look at things, for sure. And there's a responsibility that all of us have.
Gotta be better on making adjustments during the race. I've never said that before. What the hell? Why is it every time? Every time. Every time. Thanks for the pit stops today. Dialed in on adjustments too.
and the white flag is up. There's 1 lap to go.
Looks like Jimmy's going to get by Kurt Busch. Still side by side. Boy, the position that this will put Brad Keselowski in, he's inside the top 20 with this, and then having 2 victories.
He's still got a long way to go, though. He's got to go through the tunnel turn and turn 3.
Yeah, but I like my chance with him. See Kurt Busch fighting back with Jimmy here. They touch coming down the back straightaway.
That could get ugly.
It's getting ugly.
It's getting ugly. Wow, that's a high-speed part of the racetrack to be doing that.
Maybe a crossover move coming right here. Yep. Or into the rear bumper, one of the two. See Jimmy's car smoking.
Maybe he's got a little fender damage in on a tire. While up front, the story of this one is going to be the young man who came back from a terrible crash on Wednesday of this week and has gutted out a win at Pocono Raceway as Kyle Busch tries off the final corner. He'll come up 1 spot short. How about Brad Keselowski winning at Pocono?
Wow, that's impressive. See Kurt Busch able to hang on for that 3rd spot over Jimmy Johnson. These 2 drivers still arguing over space.
Yeah, Jimmy's going like, hey.
I suspect they'll discuss it when they come back around to the pit lane.
Yeah, they're going at it hard. She beat up fender.
If physical actions inside the race car mean anything, Jimmy Johnson looks a good bit agitated.
Yes, I think he is. He can't get this stuff off quick enough to get out and have a little conversation.
All right, quick look at the action between these 2 in the last lap.
All right, guys, good job on pit road. Jimmy, you did a good job on the track today, man. Sorry, we'll get these cars figured out sooner or later. You did a good job.
We did see this coming.
I don't think there was any doubt, and I'm pretty sure that they're not agreeing on what took place back there. When you came down, I went up. Heard that. Who's going to get the last word?
Certainly agreeing to disagree there.
Well, this isn't the first time these drivers have had a disagreement about who ran into who.
Crew members trying to intervene there and say, okay.
The conversation there with Kurt and what the message was you were trying to deliver.
More like a lot of yelling. I mean, I worked him over for 10 or 15 laps and had the opportunity to screw him up in the center of the turn, had the opportunity to run into him, never did it. And then off of 2, he claims I turned down on him off of 2, and I don't have a clue. He ran over me on the corner exit, and that's where it all started. So we'll figure it out.
Throughout the course of the race, as you stalked him, did you feel like now in hindsight that maybe you should have handled it differently?
No, I mean, I'm not going to run people over to pass him. That's just not me. And I worked on him for however many laps, trying to get by him clean, fair and square. And then as I got next to him, we had that issue up off 2. So, just keep filing things away. Remember this stuff. There's a couple other guys out there that have been pushing the luck too.
We were fast on a fresh racetrack, and then we'd fade. Racing hard with Jimmy at the end. I was racing him flat out. You want to race? Let's race. I didn't know we were supposed to pull over when it came down to 5 to go. Man, I raced him hard, raced him smart, raced him clean, and he wants to come over here and bitch about it. So, hey, he came off the turn and did a jab to me left. I did a jab back to the right. It's just as clean as I've ever seen it. Why can't we race each other like this and put on a show for the fans and not have a problem with it? I don't know.
Will this carry forward to the chase, Kurt?
It always does with the 48 and the 22.
Busch a lap down right behind race leader A.J. Allmendinger coming into the inner loop. Got into the back of the Best Buy Ford, shoved Allmendinger through the inside of the inner loop. Then Dinger slid across the track, went wide and all fours.
Allmendinger was sandwiched between Gorset, who was tail end of the lead lap, and Kurt Busch, who's a lap down. He was in a no-win situation right there.
I'm going to go plus that 22 in his. It's all right. We're going to yell because I'm going to put that 22 so far up in the wall, it's going to be unbelievable.
That's been the first time all night that they really felt like that's been a
Caution number 10.
Tomorrow you can start to roll. You can. Clear.
Yeah, he locked up the brakes. Yeah, his car was loose getting down in there. He tried to drive it in and just locked up the front tires. That just slid up into the 48. And you saw Montoya there in the aftermath.
It's okay. Kurt just charged the corner a little bit too hard, locked the front wheels up, and shot the front end straight up into Jimmy.
Sideways to get to it.
He had to work hard to get there.
Took some talent. He's a 5-time champ.
Oh, this will be an interesting picture.
Clear.
No, not quite.
The throttle could have hung.
Agent.
So, Newton's law, an action and an equal and opposite reaction.
Really a good, hard-fought battle. That debris from that early caution cut our right rear tire, and yeah, we were lucky to obtain a yellow while we were sitting there limping around. So to fight back from that and to be in good position all night, we had a top 5 car with our Shell Pennzoil Dodge. Last 2 races to be running strong and to be up front, this is what we need for the next 10 weeks. But it's all a tribute to the guys giving me good pit stops, and we're making good adjustments on the car as we run.
A couple of contacts between you and 5-time champion Jimmy Johnson. What was going on there, Kurt?
We raced down into turn 1, and I locked up the left front trying to avoid him. But when he came back to us, you know, you could see it coming. You know, that's not something you see from Jimmy Johnson every day. So I know we're in his head. If we're going to race this way, he's got to worry that there's 10 other guys in this chase, not just the 22.
Does this carry forward to the chase?
I'm good with where we are. We raced hard. We've got good cars that are not too terribly wrecked, but he's got to learn to race. He's been able to beat guys the last 5 years just by out-driving them with what he has for equipment. If he wants to switch equipment, let's see what we can do. But I'm going to beat him fair and square with my Penske Dodge.
Okay. I got run over going into 1, so, you know, you're going to spin me out, I'm going to spin you out, just part of it. So I'm sure I'll go find him and talk to him, and he'll run his mouth, and we'll go from there. So we'll just, we'll see what happens. But, I mean, I've worked very hard to not have any contact with him. And even the Pocono thing, I made a move to break the draft. I didn't touch his car. He instigated and ran over the side of me. So if he can stop running into my low Chevrolet, everything will be just fine.
Do you think it's going to be over from here on out in the chase?
We'll see. Time will tell. It's in his hands. You know, I didn't do anything until he ran me over. I passed him 2 or 3 times tonight without touching him, and then he ran me over going into 1. So you know, it is what it is. But I'm very excited for this Lowe's Impala. Our car, granted, we had our issues with getting turned around there, but we had a very strong race car start of the race tonight. It was running the top 4 or 5, and that's unfortunate we couldn't finish where we were supposed to tonight. But we'll go to Chicago and have a good race.
What's going to happen now when the chase starting between you and Kurt Busch?
Well, I mean, just get right down to the point, really.
Hopefully he'll stop running into my race car, and everything will be fine.
Jimmy, after the race on pit road, when you and Kurt were both asked to discuss what had happened, Kurt said that he thought he's in your head. You'd been pretty good.
I didn't say that tonight.
You did?
Did not.
Okay, I'll pull the transcript.
Pull your Twitter. Pull your Twitter.
It's not on Twitter.
Okay, Facebook.
It's not on Facebook.
All right.
You said we're in his head.
Absolutely.
It was on TV.
Okay.
Okay. You've done a good job of not letting anyone sort of bother you along the lines. Is there an incident, or is there a feud or something that could disrupt your bid this time around?
I mean, competition's competition, and there's been plenty of you know, rivalries. Maybe it hasn't been to this level, but you know, racing Jeff, racing Mark, racing Carl. The 06 deal, Kevin and I had a little rub going, and we had some issues on the track that I had to deal with. So, I mean, I've been through a lot of it, and the bottom line is we can race out there without running into each other, and that's where it goes. And unfortunately, we have had a history over the years, and we spoke a few minutes ago up on the stage, and I certainly hope it's behind us. I have no intentions to run people over, and the incidents that have happened have been accidental in the past when he was in the 2 car. He knows that, and moving forward, I'm just not going to let people run our race car over, you know, and there's been a lot of contact going on, and I'm just,
that's why I retaliated tonight. You know, it was a good time to do it. Moving forward, I think we've raced together the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and have been just fine on the racetrack. So we can do it. It can be done. And we had 8 years, 9 years before that where everything was just fine. So it's possible, and I think it's to both of our best interests to get it behind us and go forward.
Guys, congratulations. Thanks for your showing here tonight. Thanks for your patience, and we'll see you in Chicago. Thank you, Jim. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for being patient.
Thank you.
Are you okay with asking a question?
Why the f*** do you think I'd be okay? I got to go get in my car. NASCAR told me I got to get.
See Dale Earnhardt Jr. in that mix. He was extremely fast.
22 cars smoking and slow off the pace. That was from third place.
Guys, get ready. We got to go to the garage. Transmission's out of the car. Get it back there, guys.
Wow. Yeah, he's in a real vulnerable spot right there with all the cars coming. Sounded like it was a transmission, possibly.
Just hope that there's no fluids coming out of that. He had to ride around right up in the groove in 3 and 4.
NASCAR has spotters stationed all around the racetrack, no doubt looking and checking.
I hear the drive shaft broke, but there's nothing with the gearbox.
That's Kurt as he turns back into the garage.
I think that piece may have come out of your transmission with the grill. You were in front of him.
That just makes me feel a lot better, Doctor. Can you get this motherfucker out of my face? You're not out of it yet.
Never mind. Yeah.
Thank you. Don't pit. Jesus H. Christ. I'm on pit road past the commitment cone. Air gun. Anthony. Air gun. God. It's gonna happen. It happens to me. I gotta work on a seat insert. Got a bony butt. Little blondie there says I'm not allowed to change my butt, so I got to change the seat. Bouncing like a on the splitter. It's a black cloud above my head. That thing.
Caution's out for debris. They almost missed it.
They don't miss the black cloud above my head. That's what gives it away. You would not believe it. I ran over a piece of debris, blew the left rear out, and now we have a wrecked race car. I called it. Blue right front tire. Right side's only here, guys. Really? You didn't have time to put lefts on it? We're already 6 laps down. All right, everybody, kick your feet up, grab a drink with an umbrella in. Wow, this will be a new record for me. Being done like this, 66 laps in. Perfect. I love this place. 190, 220. Drivers 500. Really? Now the cool box just quit? Nice. The crew chief's still there, or did he leave? He's still hanging out, bud. I'm hearing all this. We'll fix it when we get a chance here. Caution's out. It's all for TV, people. We're all here for the show. I mentioned how much I hate this hole.
Oh, Kurt Busch in the wall again.
Yeah, he's got the right side out. He's worn the right side out.
All the way around that corner, and whoa, there he goes, and in the fence.
Oh, no.
He's wrecking. We stay green.
He's got a right rear tire down.
And he's around. Kurt Busch.
No, and there goes Newman off the bumper of someone.
And Ryan
He's
Newman
in the wall.
Bring out the caution flag with just 7 laps to go.
Kind of thought that we may see another caution.
There is some drivers just licking their chops right now. I would say in particular, Matt Kenseth, Martin Truex Jr., and Carl Edwards.
That's how it typically gets every week. I hate my job.
Got to start at the back, but then too soon.
Is there one to go yet?
They want you to drop part of the back.
I am there! I'm there! Holy behind me! I'm down!
All right, man, cool down. Let's finish and get some points here.
Late in the race, he spun out. Another crew member, one of Ryan's crew members, comes over to Kurt Busch's team and starts voicing his displeasure. And then on pit road, watch this.
Yeah, this is after the race is completely over. The drivers aren't necessarily involved, although we did see Newman go over and talk to Kurt Busch. Remember, it was a year ago after the race, one of those in your face with Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick. This time it's team members of Kurt Busch and Ryan Newman.
That's just Southern 500 emotion. Like you said, we saw it last year with Harvick and the other Busch, and now tonight the crew guys are getting into it. The drivers had a conversation after the race, Ryan and Kurt, and they seemed fine with what happened. Then the crews got involved.
Meanwhile, Michael, Denny Hamlin finishes second behind Jimmy Johnson, just ahead of Tony Stewart, and Steve caught up with Denny.
What the does he want? When you ran out of the pit, you almost ran some of them over there all wanting to whoop your.
Anyways, what was going on here? When Kurt walked out of the hauler, only to turn around and walk right back in. With everything that went down, the penalty does not surprise me one bit.
Busch driving for his brother in that monster number 54 car gets into the back of Justin Allgaier. Apparently, this skirmish started at the very beginning of the race with the first green flag. Afterwards, Allgaier and Kurt Busch had a few words talking about what went on the racetrack.
Kurt Busch, who finished in 4th, Justin Allgaier, who finished in 5th. Kurt obviously looking to check to see what paint scuffs might be on the back bumper of the 31 car in order to further his point in the discussion.
I think Kurt's trying to say, I barely touched you. And he's saying, no, you did touch me. Look.
And that went on for a little bit.
The weather. We discussed.
I doubt it.
We discussed the changing of the weather. Now, we just both fighting for the same real estate, and unfortunately, both agreed to disagree. So, overall, it was a great day for the Branch Chevy. We first top 5 in a while, and we had a strong car. That last run, we were just way too tight, and struggled a little bit. So hopefully we can carry this momentum into the next couple races.
And they break their way into the top 5 in points for the 31 team as well.
On the initial start of the race, it was like, packing air underneath somebody, and he got loose in front of us, and he thinks we purposely hit him. And so he drove like all day to try to door us and try to do stupid things out on the track. And I'm on probation, so I can't even pick my nose the right way. But, it's just a good day for us to finish in the top 5 with the Monster Energy car. I'm proud of it. We're working at it, and from where we were in the beginning of the year to where we are now, we've made great steps moving forward. So I don't know, there's clowns that want to play, and we'll play. I've got no problem with it, but and then there's fans that'll get on blog sites and Twitter tonight and just start talking a bunch of riffraff. All's what it was the initial start of the race. Race your car, kid. Race your car. That's all there is to it. It's called a race. That's what we're doing.
Did it impact you how you race, Justin? The fact that you're on probation after that? He said he was racing you.
It refrains me from not beating the out of you right now because you asked me stupid questions. But since I'm on probation, I suppose that's improper to say as well. If you could talk about racing things, we could talk about racing things, Bob.
It's racing.
It is not racing. You're in this just to start stuff,
Oh, trouble. Kurt Busch. Inside wall. Somehow again,
I'm out of fuel. I'm out of fuel and I got wrecked, guys. Why am I out of gas? I show 5 more laps down here.
That's what's wrong with Casey Kane.
Could be. Yeah. We saw him just drop straight to the bottom going into turn 1, and then this happened with Kurt Busch.
Yeah, what a shame. Kurt Busch
was leading, wasn't he?
Great job driving this race car. But you run out of fuel in front of the pack.
Yep.
No, he wasn't leading it when it happened, but oh yeah. There's sitting duck right there.
And it looked like by that shot, unless something happened, that Trevor Bain was going to be the recipient of the free pass.
He was.
God, what a shame. Well, Kurt Busch said he was out of gas. What was that?
Stop, Kurt. They want you to stop right now. They want you to
I
stop.
think that was some of the safety
equipment.
He's got his,
They want you to stop.
Got his helmet off. He's not hearing them.
The safety workers were there to attend to him when he got the car refired and drove away with both his the bag of the safety workers' equipment on top of the roof of the car. NASCAR has told the 51 team that they are done for the day.
Out of gas. I don't know how to explain it any other way than that. Ran out of gas while leading. We were 4 laps away from pitting. Just one of those situations to where whether it was a miscalculation in fuel mileage or the fuel cell wasn't picking up all the fuel. You know, we're a team that worked really hard this year, and little things might have been overlooked here or there, but we gave it all we had, and I just went around and hugged all the guys and said thanks, and it's just a tough way to go out, man. We were leading, ran out of gas. It's kind of how our year went this year. We had all the potential in the world. We just never pulled it all together for 500 miles.
It's always chaotic when you come to Talladega. Making matters worse, you had a damaged race car. NASCAR was telling you to stop. Did you hear that command?
No, I didn't. I got out of the car and surveyed the damage, saw that it could still roll. So I jumped back in, and I remembered with these engines, they'll run at 20% of fuel pressure to get it back to the garage. So I tried like heck. That's the competitor in me. That's the desire that I have, and that's what gets misconstrued all the time. And this is the way my life works. Today's a perfect example. I'm leading, I wreck, I ran out of gas. I'm still that competitive guy to try to get back in the race, and now NASCAR's yelling at me because I don't have my helmet on, and I'm trying to get it to the garage so the guys can work on it. Now I'm in trouble. Now I got this little storm right here. I mean, this is my life, so I'm not complaining. I put myself in a lot of these situations, but it's on to good things now moving forward. I got all the bad luck out of the way, and this year's been a great year to test me.
Let's see what happens here.
Oh, took Stewart out of the groove.
Yeah, he got up underneath him, pushed him up the hill, and when he did, everybody went by.
Cost him 4 or 5 spots there. Now here's Kenseth on the outside, tries to come down track.
He gets
get to the back bumper.
No harm, no foul right there. He did get into Allmendinger. I mean, Matt was like, I'm coming through, get out of the way. Now right here he pushes Kurt up out of the, there's where he pushed Kurt up out of the groove.
And he gets 7th while Kurt ends up 9th behind Almirola.
Kurt didn't like that. He goes down here and gives the 20 car a little shot. That's okay.
Yeah, that's
I didn't like what you did, but that's okay.
Tony Stewart getting up and against Kurt Busch.
A lot of emotion here, a lot of temper, a lot of emotion.
Oh yeah.
A lot of aggression.
This is typical Richmond.
Yep.
This little deal here, it's not over just yet.
But it's okay. Look, we've been rubbing all night long.
Opinions expressed out on the racetrack carried over here in the garage. And Kurt, your conversation between yourself and Tony Stewart, what took place?
We'll get to that in a minute. I mean, for us, this was a solid run with our Furniture Row car. We were there. We were top 5 all night. Some guys cycled ahead of us. Some guys, we were able to get back by on long runs. So all in all, a great night for us to be in the top 5, have restarts up front, and lead some laps. And then you could just tell. I mean, green, white checker, everybody's going to put on tires. Some guys are going to do 2. Some guys stayed out. And it's just a free-for-all. I mean, there's rubber buildup in the outside groove. There's cars sliding up with old tires. So I don't know what the 14 was upset about. I got hit from behind. I got hit every which way. So did he. Kenseth moved us up out of the way at the end. So that's why I was upset with him. But hey, everybody's free-for-all. We got a top 10. But the biggest thing here is 10 laps ago, this car didn't have a scratch on it. Now it's destroyed.
When you look at this race today, what are you going to take away as you continue to build with this entire operation?
Just being able to work together through sequences of the race. And today, we didn't quite have the best handling car, but we worked with it in the top 5, and we hoped that the race would come to us. Today, it just didn't pan out. But today was a great day to be in the top 5, posted a top 10, and we got to go for wins. That's where we're going to be able to make the chase and be in the top 20 in points.
Hey, Kyle, the reason Eric Almirola goes Kurt Busch and Ryan Newman around. Matt Kenseth trying to avoid it.
Stop. Inside, hold your line.
Matt Kenseth got in the 78 pretty hard there.
Matt spun, got in the back of the 78 or got in the quarter pound of the 78 and spun him around and then almost took himself out.
We just got whacked by a bunch of guys. The 18 hit me first, the 2 hit me next, and then
I guess it was Kurt that went underneath 3 wide and bypassed the 20 and come and clipped us and knocked us into the fence and took himself out. That's the best I could tell. I don't know, but
there you see the replay.
Yeah, that's. I guess the 20 had a little influence on it, but yeah, we were just we kind of were in a bad spot, having a little bit older tires. We didn't have the greatest car, but you know, got to thank Wicks for jumping on board and sponsoring us. That's not the press we wanted to give them, but just a lot of disrespect from a bunch of guys on restarts, and comes around, goes around, man.
And there's a crash. Casey Kane got hit by Brad Keselowski.
And that's serious damage to that 2 car.
So many drivers on pit road. That's the product. Casey Kane was one of the last drivers to come in there. He gets hit by Brad Keselowski as he was trying to leave, and that's a lot of damage on that 2 car.
It's just typical Martinsville stuff, you know. It's lap 50, and everybody's got to give and take on the racetrack and on pit road. And the 5 car was pitted in the stall in front of me, and he was at, you know, whatever struggles he had earlier in the race, he had to come in. And I saw him checking up, and I started to check up, and I just barely got in the back of him, and then Kurt just accelerated and drove through us. Absolutely drove through us. I tell you, man, I'm about tired of his recklessness.
Here we go.
You think these 2 guys are looking for each other, or is that one guy looking for that other one? Or
Darrell, race drivers have longer memory than elephants.
I don't know. You look out the nose of that thing, you don't have one. You remember who did it?
Well, that's true.
I saw a hand coming out the left side window of that 2 car as well.
Yeah. You want by me? You may have to work a little bit.
This is going to get ugly here.
Here we go. And Brad jams on the brakes. Everybody stacks up. Now they're side by side, and it's on, heading for turn 3, and it's off again. Johnson is to the back bumper of Kurt Busch, but they power off turn number 4, and the Outlaw wins the battle at Martinsville.
And Stuart Haas, really, Gene Haas.
I can't believe it.
They'll see the finish line. Brad Keselowski out front. Around goes Kurt Busch. Keselowski's going to hang on. Keselowski wins at Daytona.
Thank you, guys. Great team effort today. Very proud. Thank you.
I don't know if he was going to go from 5th to 1st or if he was trying to protect his teammate. I probably just gave him, you know, words right there to that way he can back out of what he did. I mean, he just flat out lifted our rear tires off the ground. That was the closest I had been to winning one of these plate races for points. But, you know, to be in position and to have the car that I did, I mean, this is a Tony Gibson prepared car by Stuart Haas, and I'm just happy to drive for them. You know, we want to win more often. We were in position to do it. We had everything going our way tonight. Worked real well with Kyle. We knew we had our work cut out for us to beat Kez and to beat Logano, but Logano, you know, you got to concede the fact that you're not going to have a chance to win. So the best thing he could have done was to push us to see if he could get ahead of the 18. So it's the way it works out. You know, our 41 car, Haas Automation, Monster Energy, thank you guys. We'll keep digging. We might have been able to be the points leader tonight if we could have finished, but we're just having a great year, and this isn't going to deter anything.
Here's the 4 car fight. What's he doing? Oh, no.
An amazing day. It lived up to the billing. Round of 12 in the rear view mirror. We get ready. We move on. Martinsville up next.
Hey, let's go. Hey, let's go.
It's a misunderstanding of the call at the end of the race. He'll understand it, and I'm sure he'll clear it up in his interview. For us, we're great teammates. We're doing good together. We have to work together to beat all these other teams out there, and he knows that.
Cleaned the side of our car out after the checkered flag, so I don't really understand that. But all in all, our Jimmy John Chevrolet did a great job and didn't have a scratch on it until then, so that's pretty good for Talladega.
Did Kurt have any explanation for you?
Not really.
Team meeting later, maybe?
Probably.